So today, just sort of been contemplating expectations recently. And so I'm sort of thinking that expectations are very interesting in that there's kind of two sets as far as I can see it. And I'm going to hopefully explore that over the next couple of weeks. But today, expectations of ourselves, ugh, they're horrible, aren't they? I used to think that I was supposed to be invincible. And that kept me running literally from here to there to everywhere, that I couldn't ask anybody for help, that would be a sign of weakness. And I'm feeling like a little bit emotional right now talking about this because I I was so tuned out from what I really needed in terms of help and support that I just got really sick and I burnt out. Um and that was when I was working, in my job as a head teacher, and but I mean, not just when I was a head teacher, that it just been around forever. Like, I don't ever remember a time when I didn't have ridiculously high expectations of myself to the point of craziness, really. Um, it was always about doing better, being hard on myself about that, and never quite feeling like I was there. And I think that was kind of pre-burnout, that was there. And then when I started my own business, oh my goodness, that came up just so massively, that definitely this feeling of this sense I should be further along by now, I should have done more by now. Um, and even as I'm saying that, it's sounding more ridiculous now, and I hope that that's what helps you here, is that that just sounds starts to sound like thought, really. Because where who says, like, who made up where we're supposed to be? What a load of nonsense. Like, who made that up? Who Well, we do, don't we? Like, we especially in your own business, you make up the deadline and the where you're supposed to be, although obviously there's a lot to pick up on from our environment in terms of other people, like coaches and business mentors and people like that, who might be saying we're supposed to be further on. But this illusion of I should be further along by now, well, it's just nonsense, because there's no supposed to about that. There is no should about that. But it's so persuasive because when we contemplate it, it feels uncomfortable. And then it looks like, well, the only way to get rid of this horrible feeling is if I go faster and do more and work more hours. And then we just become very pressurized on ourselves. And we think that's the way to grow. We think that's the way to grow. For me, that was very entangled in the self-development journey I went on. It comes up there too. Like, if I don't get all this sorted out, if I don't become this certain person I think I'm supposed to be, if I continue to fall short in myself, in how productive I am, that was my main focus, was productivity. If I continue to be this level of productive, which is not enough productive, then my business will fail. I will not be where I want to be in life. And there was just so much heaviness around that. Expectations of ourselves just feel so heavy. And I mean, I remember, like, just finding it hard to get out of bed in the morning. I mean, obviously I was post burnout and I was absolutely exhausted anyway. But it's all made up. It's like, what's coming to mind right now is it's just all made up. It's the mind making up that we're supposed to be somewhere else doing something else. I'm just conscious that I have an alarm that is about to go off in the middle of this talk. I'm just gonna turn it off so it doesn't go off in the middle of the song. I just became very aware that that was about to happen, looking at the time. So it's all made up, is what I was saying. It's all made up. Oh my Lord. Oh, it's just all made up. Where we're supposed to be, how much we're supposed to be earning, how many clients we're supposed to have, what we're supposed to charge. I had an interesting interaction with a friend of mine the other day about charging your worth. And if you're not charging enough, you don't value yourself. What a load of rubbish. What a load of actual rubbish that is. The amount I charge has got nothing to do with how I see myself. Those two things are not connected, really. You know, like I'm not a big high charging coach because I want to spread the word of this broadly, and I want to touch as many people as I can. And so I make my coaching very affordable because of that. I don't want to be exclusive so that people can't afford to go on this journey with me. It's why I have so much content on the internet. It's why I have so much content on Insight Timer, because I want people to be able to go on this journey with me, particularly people who are struggling. You know, I'm working with at least one person right now completely for free, because it matters to me that this message about thought, this message about how we work as human beings, that it's spread broadly, that many people find out about it, and that I help many people. That was a bit of a side swipe there, wasn't it? a bit of a tangent. That's the word I'm looking for. So let's get back to these expectations of ourselves. It's all made up. So these expectations we have of ourselves, these goals we put in place and then say we're not there, it's all the same. It's all thought, isn't it? It's all thought. So thought says, this is where you're supposed to be according to what the heck, I don't know, according to something that we've made up. You know, perhaps there's some outside pressures there, perhaps there's some comparisonitis going on, but we say, I'm supposed to be here. And we're not there, because where we are is the truth, isn't it? Like if I'm here at this point in my, maybe it's the other way around for you, but if I'm here in this point in my life and, you know, my mind saying you're supposed to be up here somewhere else, then in that gap, the inner critic really gets, you know, the critical thinking really gets hold, that expectation, the shoulds really get hold and say, yeah, but you're supposed to be here, and then directs us as to how we should get there by, you know, like perhaps don't go to bed at a decent time tonight, perhaps get up even earlier, perhaps, you should be in the 5 a.m. club now because you're not doing enough. I read that book. What a load of nonsense. Lots of it isn't a load of nonsense, but the idea that we should be getting up at 5 a.m. is actual nonsense. Get up when you get up. I happen to be one of those people who naturally wakes up at 5 a.m. Lucky me, not always. So there's just all this kind of horrible, icky gap of thought between those two things. But if we take away the expectation of where we're supposed to be, there is no gap for the inner critic to fill in. We're just here in the present moment, being exactly as we are. We don't need to be more. We don't need to have got further. I'm here now. And this really connects to what I was exploring last week about purpose, because my purpose is to show up in the present moment now and take the next step, not to be in some illusion of where I'm supposed to have got to. Because the problem is that if our thinking is off into the expectation, into the future, I'm not there, I should be there, then we're not really attending to reality. Reality is now. Reality has got nothing to do with the future. And expectation is a real future thinking. It's so wrapped up in the future. You know, you are not falling short And you might feel like you're doing everything right, but falling short all the time. Doing it right in inverted commas. But these expectations of ourselves are not truth. And there is just so much relief when we see through that. And I want you to notice your bodies in this, like to notice when you're caught up in all that expectation thinking. I guarantee it feels terrible. It does not feel good in the body. And that's the body letting us know that our state of mind isn't helpful right now. So expectation is just thought dressed up as truth. I hope you found that helpful today. Take care. Lots of love.